Good morning, students. So today I will discuss with you these topics: plant breeding for disease resistance, plant breeding for developing pest resistance, plant breeding for improved food quality. Right. So first I will take the disease resistance, plant breeding for the disease resistance. Right. So first of all, you should know what is disease resistance, or what are disease resistant plants. Means the plants which are resistant towards certain pathogens which are causing harm to the plants and giving us the reduced yield, or sometimes the completely loss of the crop is there. So common diseases like the smuts, rust of wheat, red rot of sugarcane, all these are the common diseases which you have noticed in our crops, in the plants, and they may be caused by the different microorganisms like the bacterial, fungal, viral, right? And I have classified them. I will come later. And the result is the 20 to 30% less yield we get, right? So here plant breeding is done. How? By the conventional method or by the other different ways like mutation breeding. So first is the conventional breeding. Conventional breeding means the first of all selection is done, means from a group of plants from a population. Particular plant is selected with desired traits, then it is cross hybridized, or it can be propagated to several generations. Then selfing is done, and then we get the plants with the desired traits, right? Second one is the mutational breeding, which we'll discuss later. So in this way, this breeding program is done for disease resistant varieties, to produce disease resistant varieties. So what is the benefit of this? First of all, means this loss, it will be minimized, most important. Then it will minimize the use of fungicides, bactericides, all these, right? If the plant itself, it will be disease resistant, then no need to use the fungicide, bactericide, etc. Then for this generating disease resistant varieties by the plant breeding method, knowledge of the causative organism is very, very essential. Its mode of transmission, how it just cause disease, symptoms of the disease, all these things are very, very important. So next, I have just classified all these in brief. Fungal diseases means the common fungal diseases which are caused, which are noticed, which you have seen even in the plants. They are the rust of wheat, red rot of sugarcane, late blight of potato. At least you should learn all these. Endless list is there, but at least the terms which are given in NCERT, you should do each and every that particular term. Bacterial one, black rot of crucifers. In viral, commonly you all know tobacco mosaic virus is responsible for loss of tobacco yield, tobacco crop. Right, tobacco mosaic virus is responsible for the loss of the tobacco crops. Turnip mosaic, all these are the common diseases, fungal, bacterial and viral, which are responsible for the less yield of the crops. Methods I have discussed with you: conventional method, selection, hybridization, selfing. Then new one here is the mutation, this mutation breeding. First of all, you should know what is mutation. Mutation is the means a change. If I talk about the natural mutation, sudden change in the phenotype. These are changes actually in the DNA sequences of the plants, right? So in nature you have seen sometimes means that white flowers are there, and suddenly in new generation you see that white flower petals. In that white flower petals, one or two are like the pink colored, right? that is the natural mutation, change occurred there, right? So different phenotype will be there, like commonly two colors of the flower in one flower, petals of a flower. Like in orange, if we cut the orange, then you have seen that sometimes one side is darker than the other side. That is also a type of this natural mutation, example of natural mutation. All these are the examples, these are the examples of the mutations. Now, why these mutations occur? How they occur? DNA change occurs. First of all, when there is change in the genotype of the cell, when there is change in the sequence of bases in DNA of the cell, that is DNA change, then definitely phenotype will be altered. Sometimes cell division is not correct. That is also responsible for that mutation to occur. Sometimes exposure to radiations like the X-rays, gamma rays, Y rays, all these are also responsible for the mutations. Mutagens are there, chemicals, which are called the mutagens, which are also responsible for the phenotypic changes in that particular plant. And environmental factors are also responsible for inducing the mutations like the salinity, high temperature, acidic conditions. All these factors are also responsible for causing the mutations, right? So if the mutation is favorable, right, like the desirable mutation is accepted. If mutation is favorable, that is according to our need, that can be selected, and that particular plant can be propagated further. And unfavorable mutations, they can be eliminated, right? So we will just remove that particular plants from that population. It's the simplest way. That is called the mutation breeding. Examples are given in NCERT. First is of mung bean. Mung bean, this mung bean, it is nowadays resistant. Its variety is produced nowadays by the mutations, but it is produced willingly. It is not naturally. Means here we have used the induced mutations. Induced mutations are what? Where we use the chemical, physical agents to cause changes in that particular DNA. Right? You know that changes, I discussed with you that the changes in DNA will occur, and then they will change the phenotype of the plant, and in this way, with altered phenotype, that is called the mutation. So if we induce them artificially, right, if we just force the plant to change its phenotype, we just treat that plants with the induced mutations. We expose that plants to the radiations, we can expose the plants to the chemicals, right? So that mutations are called that. Then changes will occur, and we will notice that changes, and we will keep the record of that changes, and all these will be done, means the under observations, induced mutations, right? So mung bean is the common example nowadays, which shows the yellow mosaic resistance and powdery mildew. They are induced mutations. Means earlier the plants, they were attacked by the yellow mosaic virus. Like for example, this is the parent plant, and this plant is susceptible to yellow mosaic virus, and the result is the less yield. Then what we have done? We have treated this plant by the irradiations like the X-rays or any other, then induced mutations we used here. Then result is that the different plant progeny we will collect with different phenotype, and in that plants it was noticed that the plants they were resistant to the attack by yellow mosaic virus. Parent plant was susceptible to virus, but this plant with altered phenotype, it is not now giving the favorable conditions for the growth of the fungus. In this way, it is it can be prevented from the attack of this virus, and we get the good yield, right? So in this way, by this mutation breeding, we can generate the resistant varieties of our crops, right? Another example is given, a resistance to yellow mosaic in bhindi transferred. Now this example is given, but this is not by the mutation breeding. Actually, in nature, what happens? All of on the crops which we are domesticating nowadays, which we are just using, all that they came from the wild relatives, wild varieties, and this is fact that wild varieties of the crops, they are more resistant towards the these pathogens, and nowadays all the domesticated crops are more resistant to more susceptible towards these pathogens, right? So here we use we can use the conventional method of breeding, means by selection and by hybridization. What is done here actually, like the in wild variety, for example, this is the wild variety. This variety is means more resistant towards the pathogens, but drawback is giving the less yield, right? And nowadays we have the different, which is more resistant, susceptible towards the pathogens, but giving the more yield. So what we'll do, we will cross hybridize these two varieties, and then we will get the F1 progeny, and by the continuous selfing we can produce the plants which will be different from the both the parents, means which will combine. A stage will come when both the genotypic characters will be shown in the progeny, means we will get the crops which will be more resistant towards the pathogens, and that will give us the desired yield, more yield, right? So this is the actual purpose of the plant breeding program, right? So this is all about this topic. Next I will discuss later. Okay, thank you.